Africa campaign. And in studio to help us unpack this, we are joined by Ms. Eda Bourne, Deputy Executive Director, Formal Education and Schools, and Mr. Gerard Dafenongo, Deputy National Focal Person for the campaign. They are from the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Youth Sports, Arts and Culture. Welcome to our studio and good morning to you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning to you, Grace, and the viewers and listeners.
Now, let's start with a background on this campaign, Ms. Bourne.
Yeah. Based on the SDG assessment, that is against the Sustainable Development Goals that specify the targets in terms of learning outcomes, we are falling behind. And that is where the what is falling behind is where we talk of learning poverty, is that we do not achieve. Learners do have access, they do go to school, but the learning outcomes targets are not met. So what we observe is for Africa, 9 out of 10 children do not meet the required learning outcomes of the foundational phase. That means they are not able to read a simple story at the age of 10. That's at the end of junior primary. And in Namibia, we also did a baseline assessment, a grade 3 assessment on foundational literacy and numeracy. And what we found out was that for literacy, that's now the ability to read and write, only 28% of our grade 3s meet the required standard. Whereas for numeracy, it was slightly better, it was 32%. So this is an effort, this campaign targets national awareness for eradicating this problem. So what we intend to do is that we come up with the necessary strategies that enable teachers and learners to achieve the required learning outcomes by the age of 10.
Great. Now, Mr. Dafenongo, talk to us about the importance for Namibia to adopt this campaign and how does it align with the ministry's broader strategic goals?
Well, thank you very much for the question and for the platform. We in the Ministry of Education are part of the continental initiative that of ending of learning poverty. And within our country, we have set ourselves a strategic objective to improve core skills in numeracy and literacy in basic education. Therefore, this campaign has come at the right time, not only to help us to advocate for our strategic plan, but to pull attention towards literacy and numeracy. So that means that we are joining other countries. It's only a few countries that has been selected, 25 countries in Africa that are piloting this initiative. So it's a great opportunity for us to campaign and make improvement on what Ms. Bourne have just said now, that we need to definitely do something because of the assessment that we did in the country last November. We are still below the acceptable standard in terms of our learners' achievement and the competence in reading and doing mathematics.
So this campaign plans to eradicate that. Okay. Ms. Bourne, what does learning poverty mean in Namibia context, and how widespread is the issue nationally?
Yeah, prior to this assessment that we have done most recently, we also used to do standardized achievement tests that were very specific in English as well as mathematics for grade 5s and then also for grade 7s, including then physical sciences as well. And even there we have found out that the achievement, the learner's achievement at these levels are below standard. Now, for education to be successful as a shared responsibility, you need to have the foundation. You need to be able to read and write. And only through that knowledge and skill of reading and writing and doing arithmetic, basic mathematics, we also refer to numeracy, then you can achieve further on. So the challenges that we observe that a smaller portion, only the 25 to 29% of our learners qualify to continue at senior secondary, that is to AS level, advanced subsidiary level, which is the pure academic stream in order to articulate to university degree courses. That small percentage actually correlates with our access to pre-primary. If we compare that to the cohort of these learners having had access to pre-primary and ECD. So what this eradicating learning poverty really advocates for getting the foundation phase right. Now the foundation phase includes ECD and pre-primary, continuing with grade 1, 2, and 3.
Mr. Dafinanga, can you share the key goals, expected outcomes of the initiative, both short-term and long-term?
Thank you. In the short term, we would like to raise public awareness on foundational literacy and numeracy, especially for those most in need. We also want to give opportunity for South-to-South cooperation. This might be in the long run, long term, where we would probably find a country also in the Southern Hemisphere that we can cooperate with them and do benchmarking in terms of literacy and numeracy. We also want to encourage collaboration among key partners and to accelerate and scale up and amplify the approaches and demonstrate workable and responsive approaches to this learning crisis. We also want to share guidance on policy to support decision-making in taking effective action in the long run. And we want to monitor in the short term, already like we have said last year, we had an assessment. We want again to have another assessment this year to check the implementation of the recommendation from the campaign that we are going to launch in Kunene region, and we check whether there is a positive change if compared to the last year one. And definitely we want to also have more stakeholders responding positively to the call for financing in education, especially at the lower grades, junior primary, where once we fix it there, it will then make everything to fall in places going up to the higher grades. And most probably also to address teaching issues. Now that the institutions of higher learning falls within the same ministry, we need to strategize on how to prepare the teachers for the Namibia and Africa that we want, and to resources and the gaps, and also holding teachers accountability, reduce things like absenteeism and capacity in terms of digital transformation and how they can tap from that. And definitely, as a ministry, we are about innovation and see how in the short term we can innovate the best practices and methods for teaching numeracy and literacy.
When do you plan to have another assessment this year?
It will be during the same period because it's end of the phase assessment, so we'll check it again towards the end of the year. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Ms. Bourne, how will this initiative be implemented on the ground, particularly in rural and under-resourced areas?
We have trained all teachers of junior primary, that is now pre-primary, grade 1, 2, and 3, in the Jollyphonics approach. That is an approach to teach phonemic awareness and decoding. And this is a national program. And as of the impact analysis throughout, there's a monitoring application as well. And this application has shown that the basic competencies are busy improving. And we just have to continue encouraging and supporting the teachers with the necessary material resources. In that light, the ministry is embarking on writers' workshops in terms of creating more reading material for the learners in the mother tongue instructions, because literacy is based in the foundation phase, we follow the mother tongue instruction approach.
All right, thank you. Now, the ministry is equally hosting the symposium. What is the purpose of this upcoming symposium, and who can participate? And what can these participants expect from the sessions?
We are preparing the country for the national launching that will take place at that symposium towards the end of July. Starting on the 28th, on the 29th, 30th, and the 31st of July. So we are hoping that on the 31st of July, we will then do a national launching of this end of learning poverty for all in Africa, and that will be in Kunene region. So at that symposium, we have extended invitation to the key stakeholders, to academicians from our institution of higher learning, to researchers, to NGOs operating within early childhood development and junior primary. And also we have extended invitation to all the other regions so that those teachers that have been identified as making a difference in the junior primary and ECD can come and share with the rest of the country how did they manage to have a breakthrough. So we have circulated in the newspaper and the social media the invite for abstracts. It's ending on Monday. For the people who wants to say something there, they can log on our website, which is provided on the advert, and then they can register there and submit their abstracts by Monday. And then we will go through with a committee on content curation to select which abstract fits the agenda of the symposium. Now, in the first 2 days of the symposium, we will then have those people that have submitted abstract to present, including our partners that have been working closely with us, like Right Start program, Jollyphonics, and we have also teaching at the right level. These are key stakeholders that have already been involved with our ministry in making it better for our teachers to achieve a quite acceptable performance in numeracy and literacy. So all those organizations, universities, teachers, researchers will present on day 1 and day 2, and then on day 3, we'll have Her Excellency the President, Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, to launch this for the countries, so that we can then start more action rolling to make it better for our children to read and do basic mathematics.
Okay. On the symposium still, Mr. Dafenanga, how will it serve as a platform to influence education policy and practice going forward?
As I said earlier, there will be people who are experts on subject matter of foundational literacy and numeracy presenting. And we will have a secretariat there taking some recommendation for that foundational literacy and numeracy, which at the end of the symposium will become our recommendation, which then our ministry and together with the regional directorates would then start to monitor the implementation immediately. Yeah.
Oh, Ms. Bourne, back to you. The ministry has also issued a call for abstracts as part of the symposium. What kind of research or contributions are you hoping to receive?
I would like to say that every teacher is an action researcher in their own right. So it is a call to those who have furthered their studies and qualifications, and as part of that is usually a research project relevant to the context of their teaching. And those are encouraged to share their findings, and through that sharing, we can act on, as my colleague also said, recommendations can be filtered through and impact then the education sector at large. But there are also those who are in teacher training institutions that are invited to submit. And with that, we keep the dialogue alive in terms of what are the findings, what works, what does not work, in order to improve and therefore eradicate learning poverty.
Okay. So in other words, you're saying this abstract submission is wide open to the entire public?
Yes.
All right. Not only those in the education fraternity. All right. Mr. Dafenanga, is there a timeline for these submissions, and will the selected abstracts be published or presented during the symposium?
Yeah, that's right. The abstracts has to be submitted up to Monday, the 30th of June, 2025. And we would like to inform who is selected by the 4th of July that you are selected. And once you are informed that you are selected, you then have to give us the full presentation that you would like to do. And by the 18th of July, we will be able to send to you the program, that this is where you have been entered into the program for you to make your performance or presentation. Yeah, it's timed, so nobody should fall outside the deadlines, because we have a short time to put the symposium together. We will not have time to extend anything. Yeah.
Okay, as we are nearing the end of our conversation, viewers and listeners, I hope you are active on our social media platforms: Facebook at Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, YouTube MICT at MICT Namibia. Now, what messages do you have for teachers, parents, and communities as key partners in eradicating learning poverty in Namibia? Ms. Bond, you can take that.
Yeah, the entire initiative is, number one, creating awareness of the problem. Only if you're aware of the problem and seek solutions, we can make a change. So solutions, they are proven interventions that work, and it is for us to create the necessary buy-in, ownership, and wider participation in ensuring that foundational learning is effective. So that is the main objective, and with involving everyone, making education a shared responsibility, we hope to achieve eradication of learning poverty.
Okay. Now, Mr. Dafenanga, Please take us through the dates of the registration again, and yeah.
Okay. The abstracts are closing on the 30th of June, on Monday. And then we will inform who is selected by the 4th of July.
Okay.
And then by 18th, we expect to receive the long presentation that applicants or a stakeholder has submitted the short abstract. Yeah, so that is important, and the symposium is planned for 29, 30, and the 31st of July, where Her Excellency, the President, will be officiating at that event.
Can you please repeat those dates again?
The symposium will be taking place on the 29th up to the 31st of July.
Okay.
Now, the 29th and the 30th is for experts and all those who have got initiatives and proposals, and those who have done research or those who have done some kind of experiment on how to make it work in our country. We will give them a chance there, and then we then launch at the end of the symposium. The president will be doing that, doing us that honor. Yeah.
All right, all right. Ms. Bond, any final remarks?
Yeah. It is a popular saying is that knowledge is empowering. So I would like to expand that to saying knowledge and skills are empowering. So if our children, all our children, can achieve basic literacy and numeracy, and they are able to say, I can, that is already an empowerment. And that will lead to further success. And eradicating the problems that we have in terms of efficiency and effectiveness of the teaching and learning would then be overcome, and the results will have a ripple effect throughout the entire education system for every child and every citizen then to make a meaningful contribution to the development of our beautiful country.
Okay. Mr. Dafenanga, your final remarks?
Just to let the country know that this is going on, we have read and listened to a number of our nationals giving advice, so they can now register on the platform that is created. Our website is ELPAF.org, and then they can register there, or they will be able to follow us on social media and also make their contribution there. So I really want to ask the whole country to put this on their diaries and join us as we are trying to make some improvement to ensure that really we improve numeracy and literacy in basic education.
Thank you so much. Thank you for, I'm glad to have had a conversation with you regarding this important initiative. Now, Namibia, that is all we had for you in our studio. Please don't forget to be part of this important campaign by joining it and logging onto the websites to get more information on it. Now, that is all we had for you from our studios. It's goodbye.